You want to know the one thing that makes a man emotionally addicted to you? It's not your body. It's not your smile. It's not how nice you are or how quickly you reply to his texts. It's how you show up in the world. It's how you walk into a room like you own it. It's how you carry yourself like a woman who doesn't need anyone, but chooses who's worthy of her time. That right there, that's crack for a high value man. That's the kind of energy that gets into a man's bloodstream and stays there. You see, men aren't emotionally hooked by convenience. Yes, by convenience. They're addicted to conviction, to self-respect, to the woman who doesn't flinch when the world pushes her, who doesn't crumble when someone questions her worth. That woman, she becomes unforgettable. You want to be unforgettable. Be unpredictable in the way that matters. Keep your soul layered, your energy calm, your vision clear. Stop trying to prove your worth. Live it. Stop seeking validation. Become the validation. The world tells you to be nice, be sweet, be agreeable. Screw that. Be real. Be solid. Be untouchable in your standards. Don't apologize for wanting more. Demand it without ever raising your voice. Silence and standards, they're louder than any scream. A man doesn't get emotionally addicted to someone who's always there, always saying yes, always bending. He gets addicted to the woman who walks away without fear because she knows her love is a gift, not a transaction. The woman who can look him dead in the eye and say, if you can't match my energy, my growth, my purpose, step aside. That's not arrogance, that's alignment. That's power. That's what creates obsession. You become emotionally addictive when you become the prize. Not because you say it, but because you live it. Day in, day out, no exceptions. You want to hook a man on your soul? Then become the kind of woman who doesn't chase love. She commands it by being the fire that lights her own damn world. So stop asking how to keep him interested. Ask how you can elevate, how you can deepen, how you can own who you are. Because when you do that, baby, he'll never forget you. He won't just want you. He'll need you. Need you. Not because you gave him everything, but because you made him rise to deserve you. That's the one thing. That's the game changer. And once you own it, you'll never play small again. Want to tweak it or tailor it to a specific audience or purpose? Let me know. Unshakable self-worth. The magnetic force that can't be faked. Let's get something straight. You don't become emotionally addictive to a man by making him feel like a king. You become emotionally addictive by treating yourself like a damn queen, long before anyone else shows up. That's where it all starts. This isn't about inflated ego or acting like you're better than everyone else. This is about a deep, immovable sense of self-respect. The kind that's not up for debate. The kind that doesn't shrink to be liked, doesn't fold under pressure, and doesn't apologize for existing at full volume. A woman with unshakable self-worth is a rare breed, and men feel that in their gut. They see it in how you walk, how you talk, how you carry yourself when no one is watching. And let me tell you something, men don't chase easy. They chase energy, and self-worth, that's the most intoxicating energy there is. When you know your worth, you don't ask for love, you command it through your presence. You don't try to fit into someone's life. You make them realize they better make room in theirs or risk losing something irreplaceable. And that right there, that's how addiction begins. You see, most people are walking around emotionally bankrupt, hoping someone else will validate their existence. But you don't need validation. You are the validation. You've done the work. You've built your mind, your heart, your soul like a fortress. You've looked in the mirror and decided that you are enough. No upgrades, no filters, no discounts. And when a man meets a woman like that, his entire system wakes up. Because deep down, every man craves someone who doesn't need him to feel complete, but challenges him to rise. A woman with self-worth is not just attractive, she's unforgettable. She doesn't bend to fit a mold. She's the one who creates the standard. And that scares the weak, but it sets fire to the strong. Let's get real. There will be moments when life tries to shake your worth. A rejection, a ghosted message, a man who doesn't call back. And here's the test. Do you crumble or do you hold the line? Do you make it about your value? Or do you stay grounded in the truth that your worth was never up for negotiation? Because self-worth isn't about what happens when things go right. It's about how you respond when they don't. And when a man sees that, when he sees you stay calm, collected, and completely aligned with your values in the face of chaos, that's when he starts to realize he can't get you out of his head. That kind of emotional stability, that's magnetic. That's rare. That's addictive. You want to be the woman who shifts the way a man sees women? Stop trying to earn love and start embodying worth. Stand tall in your expectations. Speak your truth. Refuse to settle, because you are not here to be chosen by anyone. You are here to choose, and that starts with choosing yourself first. So I'll leave you with this. You don't need to chase love. You don't need to prove your value. You need to know it, own it, and live it ruthlessly, fearlessly, unapologetically. Because once you do, he won't just want you. He'll wonder how he ever lived without you. That's the power of unshakable self-worth. That's the foundation of emotional addiction. And that's how you start playing the game like a damn queen. Mystery and depth. The silent obsession that grips a man's soul. Here's the reality most people don't want to hear. Being available 24/7, oversharing your life story. Constantly being a nice and agreeable. That doesn't make someone emotionally addicted to you. Makes you predictable. And predictability doesn't light a fire in anyone's heart. It breeds comfort, not obsession. You want a man to crave you? To think about you constantly? To dream about you at night and feel your absence like a storm in his chest? Then you need to master the art of mystery and depth. Mystery isn't about playing childish games. It's not about ignoring his texts just to trigger some dopamine hit. No, that's petty manipulation. Mystery is about having layers. It's about being a walking novel that no one can read in a single sitting. It's about being so rich in your soul, so multidimensional in your being, that the more he uncovers, the more he realizes there's infinitely more to discover. That's what creates emotional addiction. Because let me tell you something. Most people today are surface level. They show everything they are in the first two conversations. They try to impress with what they think will earn affection. But a woman with depth doesn't put everything on the table. She lets you earn the next chapter. She doesn't need to impress, she intrigues. She doesn't seek attention. She commands presence without saying a word. And when a man feels that, when he senses that there's more to you than what's visible, he becomes fascinated. He doesn't just want to be around you. He wants to understand you. And that curiosity, that's the hook. That's the invisible rope pulling him closer. Depth is when you've lived, when you've overcome, when you've got stories and shadows and victories and scars, and you own all of it without shame. When you speak, it's not fluff, it's fire, it's wisdom, it's layered. And it stirs something inside him that he didn't even know was asleep. Now listen carefully. This doesn't mean you wall yourself off. It doesn't mean you become cold or distant. It means you're selective, strategic, powerful in your presence and precise in your words. You don't give all of yourself to everyone. That access, that intimacy, it's earned. Men don't get addicted to what's always available. They get addicted to what challenges their mind and shakes their soul. They get hooked on the journey of discovery. They want to feel like they've entered a world with you, not just a conversation. You want to be unforgettable. Stop revealing everything. Let silence do the heavy lifting. Let your eyes speak before your mouth does. Let your presence be so rich, so rare, so centered, that he walks away thinking, well, what is it about her? Why can't I stop thinking about her? That's mystery. That's depth. That's what turns interest into obsession. So stop giving away the full picture in the first frame. Be the woman he keeps turning pages for. Be the story that never ends. And I promise you this, once he feels that depth, once he senses that mystery, you won't be a chapter in his life. You'll be the whole damn book. Emotional consistency. The calm that creates craving, let me be brutally honest with you. Chaos might be exciting in the beginning, but it doesn't create emotional addiction. Stability does. A man doesn't get hooked on the roller coaster. He gets hooked on the rock, the anchor. The rare woman who brings peace, not confusion. That's emotional consistency. And that's where the real power is. You want to know what separates a temporary fling from a woman who lives in a man's mind, rent-free, long after the lights go out? It's not just looks. It's not sex. It's not charm. It's the fact that she is emotionally unshakable. She's not a puppet to her feelings. She's not reactive. She doesn't blow hot and cold like a broken thermostat. She is steady. She is secure. She is safe. And let me tell you something. Safety is the one thing that most men never knew they were starving for until they feel it. A woman with emotional consistency doesn't just give him butterflies. She becomes his safe haven. Now, don't get it twisted. This doesn't mean you become boring, robotic, or emotionless. Hell no. You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to express. But you are not allowed to be ruled by your feelings. You lead with awareness, with maturity, with grace under pressure. And when you do that, you become a lighthouse in a world full of emotional hurricanes. Most people today, they're emotionally volatile. They love you one day and ignore you the next. They say they want something real and then run the second it gets uncomfortable. And a man, he's seen it all. He's been burned. He's been ghosted. He's been manipulated. So when he meets a woman who doesn't play games, who doesn't weaponize her emotion, who doesn't fall apart when things don't go her way, that hits different. That sticks. Emotional consistency is the ability to hold your center, even when the world tries to pull you off balance. It's when you get triggered, but don't explode. It's when you're disappointed, but don't punish. It's when you feel the storm inside, but you don't let it control your mouth, your mood, or your mission. That kind of woman, she is pure gold. Because let's face it, men aren't just looking for excitement anymore, they're looking for alignment, for something real. For someone who's not just fun when things are easy, but solid when life gets hard. Emotional consistency isn't weakness. It's elite level strength. It's the calm confidence that says, I know who I am, I know what I feel, and I choose how I respond. That's power, that's leadership, that's sexy. And if you really want to build emotional addiction, be the emotional constant in a world full of noise. Be the one he knows he can call when the whole world is burning, and you'll still pick up with poise in your voice and peace in your energy. That woman, she's unforgettable. She's unforgettable. That woman becomes the standard. So stop thinking you need to create drama to keep his attention. What you need is discipline, emotional stability, emotional leadership, because it's what creates trust, and trust, that's the root of emotional addiction. Be the calm, be the clarity, be the consistency, and he'll never want to let you go. Living with purpose, the irresistible force that makes you unforgettable. Let me break something down for you real quick. There is nothing more addictive, more hypnotic, more unforgettable than a woman who is on a mission. A woman who wakes up every day with direction, drive, and discipline. Drive and discipline. A woman who doesn't need a man to complete her because she's too busy building her empire. You want to know what makes a man emotionally addicted to you? Purpose. Real, raw, relentless purpose. Why? Because when you're living with purpose, you become a force of nature. You're not waiting around to be picked. You're not rearranging your whole damn life for someone you just met. You're not sitting by the phone, refreshing messages like it's a lifeline. No, you're in motion. You're creating. You're evolving. You're busy becoming a woman that even you are proud of. That energy, that momentum, that vision, it's magnetic. Because men aren't truly addicted to neediness. They get addicted to the challenge, to the inspiration, to the presence of someone who makes them want to grow. And a woman with purpose doesn't just love herself, she demands that the people around her rise too. Let me say something most people won't. If your entire identity revolves around a relationship, then you're not living, you're orbiting. You've made someone else the sun while you sit in their shadow. That's not attractive. That's not powerful. That's a liability. But when you've got something of your own, when you're building a business, creating art, leading a cause, raising your standards, following your damn calling, you stop being a background character in your own story. You become the main event. And that's when he gets hooked. Because the truth is, men are drawn to women who are rare. Not just rare in beauty, but rare in substance, rare in vision, rare in how they move, how they think, how they live. A woman with purpose doesn't tolerate mediocrity, not in herself, and sure as hell, not in a partner. She doesn't chase love. She doesn't beg for attention. She attracts it, naturally, effortlessly, relentlessly, because she radiates the kind of energy that says, I know who I am, I know where I'm going, and I'm not where I'm going, and I'm not waiting for permission to get there. That kind of woman makes a man stop in his tracks. She doesn't just stir feelings, she awakens potential. She makes him want to do more, be more, lie bigger. Not because she nags or lectures, but because her presence is a walking reminder of what it looks like to live fully, boldly, and without apology. And let me tell you something, when a man sees a woman who is lit up by her own mission, who finds joy in her growth, who doesn't lose herself in the process of loving someone else, he knows he's not just dealing with another woman, he's standing in the presence of a legacy. So here's the truth. If you want emotional addiction, if you want to be unforgettable, build something worth remembering. Create a life so rich, so fulfilling, that anyone who comes into your world knows they better bring more than words. They better bring alignment. Because a woman with purpose, she doesn't settle for anything less than extraordinary. Let me know when you're ready for Keynote 5. We'll bring it home with fire, boundaries and standards. The ultimate emotional hook. Let's make something crystal clear. It's not love, sex, or sweet words that make a man emotionally addicted to you. It's not how fast you respond. It's not how available you make yourself. You want the truth. It's your standards. It's your boundaries. It's your refusal to settle. That's what gets in a man's head. That's what keeps him thinking about you long after the conversations fade and the lights go out. That's what makes him say, damn, I can't let her go. Because in a world full of people bending over backwards just to be liked, a woman who stands tall and says, this is who I am. This is what I expect. And if you can't meet that, keep it moving. There's a lightning strike in a sea of rain. Boundaries aren't walls. They're gates. They don't push people away. They filter out the weak. They protect your energy, your peace, your purpose. And guess what? That's not intimidating to the right man. It's electrifying. It sets you apart from every other woman who handed herself over for nothing but crumbs. You see, people confuse being wanted with being valued. But let's get something straight. You teach people how to value you by what you tolerate. Every time you lower your standards, every time you say yes, when you meant a no, every time you accept less than you deserve, you're training someone to see you as optional. But when you hold the line, when you walk away from disrespect, when you choose your standards over temporary connection, that's power. That's the kind of power that makes a man look in the mirror and say, I have to level up or I'll lose her. Boundaries aren't about being cold. They're about being clear. They say, this is the level I live at. This is the respect I demand. This is the love I offer, and I'll give it away to just anyone. That doesn't make you difficult. That makes you a damn queen. Let me say it loud for the people in the back. Desperation is repulsive. Certainty is magnetic. And a woman who lives by her standards, who isn't afraid to walk away from anything that costs her peace, will always be the one who stays in a man's heart and mind. She's not begging to be chosen, she chooses. She doesn't chase validation, she validates herself. Men get emotionally addicted to women they respect, women they admire, women who challenge them, not through chaos, but through excellence. When you make it clear that your love is a privilege, not a prize for the unworthy, that's when he gets hooked. You want to be unforgettable? Set the bar so high that only the bold will even try to reach it. Be so rooted in your standards that you don't even flinch when someone tests them. Let your no be final. Be final. Let your yes be sacred. And watch how fast mediocrity fades and greatness walks in. Because at the end of the day, boundaries aren't just how you protect your worth. They're how you prove it. Now here's your power play. Stop lowering the bar. Raise it. Guard it. Live it. And make no apologies for it. The right man won't be scared off. He'll step up. And that right there